Today, the French city of Toulon is stuffed with around 500,000 Frenchmen. If you count everyone in the metropolitan area, you might even end up with up to 1.5 million people. But it was not always like this. In the winter of 1543, Toulon switched the composition of its population from French to Ottoman. Which explanation for this do you expect? Conquests? Strange orders of succession? No. The reason of the transfer of Toulon from France to the Ottoman Empire, including a total exchange of the population for one winter, was an alliance. In 1543, Francis I of the House of Valois, King of France, fought a war in Italy against the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V of the House of Habsburg. Since the Habsburgs were the traditional enemies of the Ottoman Empire, an alliance between France and the Ottoman Sultan came about. When the French laid siege to Nice, this necessitated a naval blockade, and the Ottomans sent a fleet under the corsair Hayreddin Barbarossa from Algiers to support their allies. But the Austrians were not only a land power fighting the Ottomans in Hungary. In the Mediterranean, with Andrea Doria, they had a capable admiral in the service. A rivalry developed between him and Hayreddin Barbarossa. Both seafarers participated in the siege of Nice. First, Barbarossa, part of the combined French-Ottoman fleet, began the blockade of the harbor on the 6th of August 1543. On the 22nd of August, the city surrendered. However, the citadel still resisted, and the Habsburg relief army marched towards Nice, while Andrea Doria sailed to break the blockade. The Ottomans looted Nice and then withdrew. But where should they go? The next Ottoman port, which could protect the fleet over the winter, was far away, and the French wanted Barbarossa to stay and supplement their fleet. Luckily, Francis had an idea. Threatening death to everyone who would defy his orders, he simply kicked out the population of Toulon and handed the city to the Ottomans. No one was allowed to stay except for the head of each household, who graciously was permitted to serve as hostages to the Turks, so that they could force supplies from the population. 110 Ottoman galleys with 30,000 men landed in Toulon. They stayed there for 8 months, turning the local cathedral into a mosque and even building a slave market. The sources are not clear on the end of the Ottoman phase of Toulon. Either the French king, desperate for money, only reluctantly paid his allies. This made the gathering of supplies difficult, so Barbarossa made the decision to leave only after forcefully freeing all Muslim galley slaves on the French ships. Alternatively, Francis' alliance had created a huge outcry in Europe, which united even Calvin, the Pope and Luther. The English prepared an invasion of France, and so Francis had no other option than to aim for a peace with the Habsburgs, and even gave all Muslim galley slaves to Barbarossa in order to get rid of him. On the sailing away of the Ottoman fleet, the original citizens of Toulon returned. Again, there are two sides of the story. Either the locals found the town untouched or completely pillaged, whichever source you want to believe. The French king decided to grant 10 years of tax reliefs to the temporarily expelled citizens. On his way home, Barbarossa pillaged and enslaved along the Italian coast. French officers told him where he could trade, occupied conquered places, and made only token gestures to prevent the enslavement of Christians. The diplomatic implications of such an extensive cooperation by Francis with Muslims were clear. Europe looked upon him with disgust. In 1544 he concluded a peace treaty with Charles. The alliance with the Ottomans was never that intensive again. Summed up, during his war against the Habsburgs, Francis I was so eager to ally with the Ottomans that he even ordered the evacuation of Toulon to harbor the fleet of his allies over winter, thereby creating diplomatic outrage in Europe. We'll meet again soon. Until then, please share this video, attack the like button just like Hayreddin Barbarossa attacked the Italian coast, and do not forget to subscribe to find out more about historical curiosities. So long. Stay critical, stay curious, stay free.